out of his hands, but Brockers just absolutely body slammed Tua like welcome.
And guess what, Skip? He got up, says, okay, I'm okay with this, Skip.
Yep.
But if I were to tell you, there's one team, Team A, had 326 more yards than Team B. They had 31 first down. Team B had 8 first down.
Yep.
Team A possessed the ball 13 more minutes. You know, they blew Team B out. But Team A also had 4 turnovers. They gave up a scoop and score. They gave up a punt return touchdown, and they also gave a fumble return that went back to the 1-yard line. You say that explains why they lost the ball game. And that explains why the Rams lost the ball game. The Rams played right, and I don't know who needs to hear this, Skip. Did you know the Miami Dolphins possess the #1 scoring D in all of football? They're a very sound football team. And I still, look, I don't necessarily agree with the decision, but I understand Brian Flores, the head coach, has a vision in what he in the direction he wants to take this team. Still has a boatload of draft picks. Thanks to the Houston Texans. That's another reason Bill O'Brien lost his job, Skip. But Tua didn't have to do a whole lot. What 90-something yards, Skip? I think he only had
93.
like a dozen completions. Nothing really down the field. But when you get in a situation like this, Skip, don't do anything crazy. You don't have to prove that you can throw and go get 300 yards passing the football. There will be a time and a place that they're going to ask Tua to drop back and throw the ball 30, 40 times. And he's going to need to be able to go get you 300 yards, maybe 3+ and a couple of touchdowns. But this wasn't the game for that, because Jared Goff and the Rams offense says, here, we're going to help you to get your first victory. We're going to give you a scoop and score, a couple of those, and we're going to give you, 2 interceptions. The Rams played awful. And I did not envision them playing. That's why I picked the Rams to win, knowing they weren't going to ask Tua to do a whole lot, not in his first start, but the Rams handed it to him on a silver platter. This is why they lost. But this is something for Tua to build on. Now, if they think moving forward, he can play like this and they're going to win game, I don't give a damn how good their defense is. He's going to have to do more than what he did yesterday.
Thank you, which is why I have proclaimed Tua the luckiest first-game starter in the history of the National Football League. He got away with 93 total yards passing, 12 completions out of 22 attempts, and a QBR, grand total of 25. That's on scale 0 to 100. That's not good.
That's not good.
He was so lucky, he was playing a guy that I now call Jared Cough, as in Jared cough it up, because he was coughing it up maybe even worse than Wentz was.
What's up with the 2016 draft quarterback, Skip, 1 and 2?
I don't know. They got their money, and they will give it back. They are giving back to the opposition now. Jared cough it up starts off by throwing an interception to Christian Wilkins where he zone blitzed.
Right.
And if we can look at that, I think we have them all at once. Yep, here we go. And that was returned to the Rams' 33-yard line. And here comes the fumble, sack fumble, and that gets scooped and scored with. This is horrendous, just horrendous. And then here's another interception. That didn't hurt them, actually, but then pretty quickly we get another sack fumble that almost by Kyle Van Noy, the Patriot now turned Dolphin, he almost scored with that. If you're going to do that, and you realize that all happened in the first half.
Yes.
Well, look at what happens to the score. It goes, actually, the Rams scored first. And yet, the Christian Wilkins interception allowed a short field touchdown, and Tua made one throw the whole day. And it was to Devontae Parker, and it was one of only 2 targets he had. And he caught it for a 3-yard touchdown against an all-out blitz. And Tua did, to his credit, he hung in on this throw and whipped it over the middle to a single-covered receiver who got fouled on the play. It was actually pass interference over the top. And that was as impressive as it got for Tua, because then the scoop and score touchdown makes it 14-7. And then all of a sudden, here we go again with we didn't even mention the punt return TD, where Grant just took off and went 88 yards. That made it 21-7. And then there was the interception, and then the almost scoop and score by Kyle Van Noy got it down to the Rams 1, and that suddenly makes it 28-7, and we're still in the first half.
Right.
Okay? Well, Tua gets taken completely off the hook for his opening sack fumble that led to 7-0 Rams, because he didn't have to do anything the rest of the way. And to all your points about the stats, that they went 3 of 12 on third down. That usually won't work.
No.
And to your point, when you only rush for 55 yards and they rush for 131, you're probably going to lose that. When they throw for 340 yards and you throw for only 90 total yards, you're probably going to lose.
Skip, the Rams had 92 plays. The Dolphins had 48.
And as you said, the time of possession was completely lopsided, 36 minutes to 24 minutes for the visiting team. So the visiting team did everything but hold on to the football when it had to, and it just went gift, 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 gift. And when you have 4 gifts, then Tua doesn't have to do anything. So to me, if I were grading Tua, I'd just say this was an incomplete, right? Because he had 10 incompletions.
Right.
So what should I say about Tua? I don't know what to think about him.
Right.
I still have my doubts about him as a 6-foot quarterback who got hurt, had 5 different surgeries reportedly at Alabama. Shannon Sharpe always tells me, hurt in college, hurt in the pros, had a career-threatening hip injury, and had a track team of receivers at Alabama.
Just saw one on display Saturday night.
Hey, Devontae Smith, he's a bad man. He's going to go high.
He is.
And again, they had, God bless Jalen Waddle. He got hurt last week and is gone for the year.
He's still going to be a first-round pick.
He'll be a first-round pick. They were loaded. They had 4. He was throwing to 4 first-round picks and maybe a 5th in Najee Harris, who caught a bunch of balls the other night.
His left tackle probably go in the first round. The center's going to go in the first 2 rounds. They loaded again.
Thank you for all that. They are loaded, so you're making my case. You have to be a little skeptical of what Tua is. He's got to feel good about himself because he's competing internally against Ryan Fitzpatrick and externally against a Justin Herbert.
Well, and Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was first pick in the draft. Tua was 5th, and Herbert was 6th.
Remember, there's a lot of reports that Miami wanted Joe Burrow instead of Tua.
Right.
And they tried to trade up unsuccessfully to 1.
Right.
Because they got draft capital.
And you look at, although the record is not indicative, Justin Herbert is playing out of his mind. He's playing every bit as good as Joe Burrow. If you look at Skip, I mean, they've lost 3 straight games in which they've had 17-point or more lead. 3 consecutive.
He did throw 2 picks yesterday at Denver.
And that's what cost them against Kansas City.
Yep.
They were in dealing, and he threw that picks in the end zone, blah, blah, and lead.
But he is throwing he threw 3 more touchdown passes.
I'm talking about
up to
dropping
15?
down. Yes. Whew. He's dropping down. I mean, he's throwing, the guy's holding the guy, and he put the ball where only his guy can catch it with one hand. So he's dealing, but he's going to have to cut down on the turnovers because they were in control of that ball game. And then all of a sudden, his turnovers allowed Denver to get some confidence, and they ended up winning late in the ball game. That's what we do by High Magic.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, by High Magic.
You back on that bandwagon now? I thought you were on my homeboy's bandwagon.
Look, my homeboy's he on a different level. You saw what he did, yeah.
Against the Jets?
Don't do that, Skip. Don't do that. Don't do that. But look, Skip, like you said, yeah, this is incomplete. He took that hit early, and then he only got hit one other time. He only took 2 hits the entire day. And that's what you got to keep him clean. And, you know, reading all the reports, they said, look, we got to go with Tua because we got 4 picks in the top 2 rounds. What do we need?
By the way, ESPN reported that yesterday, that was a big reason they threw him in as early as they did.
Do we need to drop the offensive lineman?
Yeah.
Do we need another receiver? Do we need a running back?
Or do we need another quarterback?
Now, I don't believe they're going to be high enough, Skip, to get Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields. Now, everybody keeps talking about Trevor Lawrence, but I've been seeing some quarterbacks that play every bit as good as Trevor Lawrence.
I told you that last week.
Justin Fields, that quarterback from BYU, is playing
He's
well.
taking over the QBR lead. All he does is throw touchdown passes.
And that came from Alabama, Skip. Now, I don't know what he's going to be. Maybe it's the track team again.
Mac
but
Jones,
Skip.
yeah, I don't know.
I'm
I'm not loving it. But he's playing at a high level.
He's playing extremely
I got
high.
it. And everybody loves that Trey Lance, and I have not seen enough of him to know.
Right. I just saw him a little bit. I saw him in the championship game last year.
State. Yeah.
Right. So, but look, it's incomplete. He didn't have to do a whole lot, and I'm sure if Brian Flores had his dream, he wouldn't have to do a whole lot the whole rest of the season.
Yep.
But there will come a time.
There will.
And their team is not going to turn it over. You're not going to get a scoop and score. You're not going to get a return touchdown. And Tua is going to have to throw.
Yep.
And we'll see.
This team, the Miami Dolphins, of all people, are right on Buffalo's tail to win the AFC East.
Yes.
Because speaking of tail end, the Patriots are now bringing up the rear.
Yeah,
right?
I did not envision that. Well, as long as the Jets, The Jets, I don't know what the Jets got going.
Well, I don't even count them.
The Jets want Trevor Lawrence. They said, we want Trevor Lawrence Fields. They're going to get one of these quarterbacks, and they're going to end up trading Sam Darnold.
Yep.
Because if you get the number 1 pick together, it might not even be, because I thought Sam Darnold made some throws, but it's like, nah, they just believe that these guys that's coming out